channel. My name is Philadelphia. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today I'm going to talk about the book I just read called In 5 Years. So I just want to start off this book review by giving you a little summary of what this book is about. We start the story off with this career-driven, ambitious woman named Dani. And she is one of those type A personalities that has her whole life planned out, and she has this perfect life. She has this wonderful guy that becomes her fiance. Really, the book starts to take full swing the day she gets engaged, and she goes to bed that night and has this dream / more like a vision. And in her dream, she pictures what her life looks like in 5 years, and it's completely different than what life she has mapped out right now. In this dream, she's on a whole new trajectory, and it freaks her out. She's in an apartment she doesn't recognize. There's a man in this apartment that she has no idea who he is, and she's just like, how did I get here? And that's kind of where the story starts to take place, is she wakes up from this dream and she's like, what decisions do I have to avoid so this isn't my life in 5 years? Because right now she has everything that she wants. This book review may have spoilers, so if you haven't read the book, don't listen to it. It was a good book. I read it compulsively. I finished it in about a day and a half. It was easy to get into, very digestible. It was an enjoyable read. I did have to get over some hurdles of, Dani wakes up from this very vivid dream, and you're like, is she psychic? Is this a Freaky Friday situation? What's going on here? Because it's not that realistic. That was like a really hard thing for me to get moved from. It kind of prevented me from getting attached to the characters almost, because I was like, I kept coming back to like, this isn't realistic. It really complicated the plot almost. She could have had all these experiences and felt all these emotions, how she feels stuck in a relationship and she doesn't know if she's on the right track in life, without having this unrealistic Freaky Friday vision situation. I do know this book was beloved by many people. I keep seeing it on my, book blogs and Instagram. The cover is everywhere right now. And I just have to think people are suckers for a nice romantic book, and it's an easy read. And it's not like the book's bad or anything. It was an enjoyable, day and a half well spent. A lot of the characters are pretty one-dimensional. It kind of just fell into a rom-com cliche where you have the over-ambitious lawyer, you're in New York City, you have the dream pixie best friend, the wet blanket boyfriend, and then the dreamy other guy. Since I didn't have an emotional connection really to any of the characters, there were several points in this book where the author wants you to be sad. Some of the situations are very emotional and sad, but I couldn't be that emotionally attached to them. I wasn't sad, I didn't cry, I wasn't connected, it just didn't hit me at all. That's disappointing because there was very sad scenes and raw emotions at the end, and I wish that I loved the characters and felt something deeper for them, but I just didn't. And then I was reading how some people felt about the book, and I kept seeing how this is a book not really about love, but it's about friendship between Dani and her friend Bella. And I kind of have to, it's about friendship, but I have to disagree to the point where it's not about a good friendship. I mean, I don't think Dani's that great of a friend to Bella. And are we going to just gloss over the fact that Dani does kiss Aaron while Bella's still alive? That's not a good friend move. I was over Dani at that point. Why would you kiss your dying best friend's boyfriend who just bought you a house? It just seems a little... I really don't understand why Dani never came clean to Bella about this crazy vision that she had, especially when her life kept lining up with the vision. How she met Aaron at their double dates, how the apartment was the one she saw in her vision. I mean, there was this one thing after another where she had so many opportunities to be like, hey Bella, you've known me since I was 7 years old. don't think I'm crazy, but this has actually happened to me. And like even in the book, the author writes how Bella would have probably believed Danny if she told her. So if you already had this assumption that Bella was accepting of the crazy, why wouldn't Danny lean on her best friend for that? Especially when the visions kept coming true. Especially when Bella ends up like almost dying, why wouldn't you just confess on her deathbed? Be like, am I crazy? When I'm writing a book, I think about how the story will stay with me, how it'll impact me, if I'll remember it in a year. And I have to say with this book, I honestly probably won't remember it in a year or so. Nothing really stood out to me. The characters were pretty one-dimensional. The storyline was rather predictable. The story just felt a little flat to me, and it had all of the potential to be a great story, but at the end of the day, it just had a messy plot. Like the vision part of it just seemed unrealistic, and I could never buy into the story completely, and I just was never attached fully to the characters where I was impacted by the hardships that they were going through. So no, I probably won't remember this story in a year, so I can't give it that great of a score, even though it was an enjoyable read. I give it 3 stars though, just because I did enjoy reading it. I love it when I can compulsively binge a book. Like I think if you didn't have the unrealistic vision, I may have given it a 4. I wish she would have told Bella about the vision, for one. If we are going to stick to this vision plot, at least tell your best friend. And then 2, I wish the vision plot wasn't even there, because it makes everything so messy and unrealistic. And the story could have happened without this unrealistic element. So yeah, that's how I feel about In 5 Years. Thank you for watching my book review. So I have 2 books that I still need to do a review on that I just finished this week. So expect to see those in the future. So make sure you subscribe so you can see when those are available. The books that I will be reviewing next are Such a Fun Age and Every Note Played. I look forward to having you back here on my channel in the future. I hope you have a good week. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. My handle is Philly Hewitt. Make sure you register to vote.